Let's do a distraction then. Let me turn my sound off on my phone. Fucking Noel Fisher just tweeted as we started recording.
I know. I just opened up Instagram and the photo is right fucking up in there. Smug thug.
I'll put that with the show notes. But all right, we're gonna try something different. Let's start it off. Hi everybody, welcome to the Luck We Had, a shameless recap podcast. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Amanda.
My name is Evan. Welcome back, everybody.
And this week we're gonna try something different. So this portion at the beginning, I'm gonna try to cut it into its own little thing. We're gonna do a mini-sode talking about season 11.
Yes.
We have things to discuss.
We have some things to say.
I started some discourse on TikTok yesterday, because I posted pretty much a little TikTok of my feelings about the episode, and in it I said I don't care about Frank, and people are like, he's the main character. I'm like, he literally isn't.
He's not anymore.
He never has been. He never has been. William H. Macy was always just the most famous person on the cast.
Yeah, I feel like, because, like, you assume because, like, Frank's front and center, like, oh, it's just because he's still the token character, like the token famous person.
Fiona was the main character.
Literally.
Frank doesn't even show up in the pilot until the third act, until like the last 15 minutes of the pilot. Just not counting the like thing at the beginning. And speaking of that, I hated.
I was so confused. Like, it started off and I was just like, what's happening? It didn't set it up for anything like important, if that makes any sense. It was just him going on one of his fucking rambles.
And, like, the pacing, my biggest problem with this episode was the fucking pacing. The pacing of this episode was so bad. Even just him, like, oh, you missed last season? That was so unnecessarily long. That was, like, at least a minute long of just, fuck off, here's what you missed last season. And then the whole Chicago thing.
What?
What the fuck was that?
And he still didn't even explain who the guy, like, following him around was. Like, yeah, he was like, yeah, you're the only one who, saw the ad or something like that. But I'm like, what is this beneficial to any of us to know? What's it gonna do for the season? It's the first episode, and you wasted 15 minutes of this Frank storyline of what? Mumbling nonsense?
I'm gonna go ahead and predict it means nothing for the season, because Frank's storylines never mean anything. They never mean anything. They never affect anybody.
They don't.
The only good thing he was worth last season was at the end of the season with the rich lady, the car was there for Ian and Mickey. That was it. That was Frank's only function the whole season. And the Kevin V storyline, I predicted before the episode aired that they were going to drop the Jim storyline, because they drop every single one of Kevin V's storyline. They didn't drop the Jim storyline, but they did just randomly throw us into the middle of them running a pot business.
Yeah, I guess because of all of the legalization within the pandemic that has happened, I guess Chicago was one of those locations. So of course they were like, they do drugs, they can now sell it.
And, like, I know that Kev had the ice cream truck in earlier seasons, but, like, I feel like that was just, we jumped into the middle of something. Like,
I think that's my biggest pet peeve about this season, is that they made sure to incorporate COVID pandemic kind of bullshit. Like, I'm one of those people where I don't want to watch one of my favorite or comfort shows going through the same exact bullshit I'm going through right now. Like, I don't want to sit down this week and be like, oh, let's watch my favorite characters go through COVID.
Like, I understand why they didn't ignore it, because they do deal with, like, real life stuff. Like, I feel like they are based mostly in the real world. Like, I know there are sitcoms and shows like Mom and American Housewife, and shows that are just straight up ignoring, just not including the pandemic, not doing masks, just never mentioning it. And then there are shows, I actually like the way Shameless is doing the mask, because there are shows like Law & Order SVU. The way Law & Order SVU is doing the mask pisses me off so much.
How are they doing it?
They'll open a scene with, like, Mariska Hargitay with a mask on, but she's already in the middle of taking it off. And then she'll walk into a room full of people and just start talking to them. Like, in the middle of the precinct, interviewing people at crime scenes, in the entire... everybody is wearing a mask and then they're pulling it down to talk, or they're taking it off to talk. And, like, do it or don't do it. I promise your sound department can mic it so that we can hear you. I promise. Like, Grey's Anatomy has masks on for 90% of the show, and it doesn't affect the show.
And it's not even a show about the pandemic. They're just freaking doctors.
Yeah. So I do sort of like the way Shameless is doing it, because every time you see somebody, like, except in The Alibi, where, like, when people go into restaurants, they take their mask off anyway. But even in The Alibi, they've got the things separated, they've got the sheets up, and, like, everybody has a mask on them. I like V's, like, mask holder with her, like...
I know.
And I like, it actually is a way to, like, show the types of people different people are. Like, Frank has the bandana mask like all the assholes do, but V has, like, a bedazzled mask with a holder and everything.
Yeah.
Then, of course, like, Lip just had, like, a plain black one. And then, also, I want to point out that the scene with Lip getting coffee for Tammy, Mans grabs a used cup to give to his fucking baby mama. Like, a used cup. I don't care that he gave her shitty coffee. A used cup.
I do object to that, but I also respect the hustle of Lip.
No, 100% any other time I would have been like, hell yeah. But, also, I was laughing, at the scene with Tammy and Lip in the garage, and she was like, make sure to wear your mask, I don't want to get COVID again, and I was like... Again? I was like, of course they fucking already had it.
And I said this in my TikToks, but I maintain this. I feel like Lip is now the default main character and has been since last season, especially since he's got the baby.
I agree. Because, like, I was trying to think, I was like, who even is the main character as of now? And, like, I want to really put it as in, like, Lip. I want to assume Ian, but I feel like even in the first episode, we still didn't get anything. So, like, I'm kind of glad that Lip is now, like, almost, like, front and center, but...
Because Lip was always the second, like, Fiona was always the main character, and Lip was always just right there underneath her. Of course Lip was going to be the main character. Like, it only made sense. Because Frank is not. I will understand
Frank
that
is
again.
not.
Debbie's a rapist, and I don't even want to talk about her.
I hated all the jokes they made within this episode about pedophilia and stuff like that.
And, the Carl storyline, Shameless trying to do Black Lives Matter from the perspective of the cops is the worst thing they've ever done.
Yeah, but also, at the same time, when that one cop was talking to Carl, I was like, I love how they're having a cop being like, yeah, just do that. You wait for them to turn around. You beat the fuck out of them. And I was like, at least it's showing that the cops are, like the worst. And, like, but also now I'm sad because Carl's, like, involved in that shit and is following and listening to them.
I'm hoping and praying, like, Carl is going to turn around and I got a sense from it, from, like, the cops blatantly saying break all the rules, it doesn't matter, that Carl, like, wasn't down with that, but, like, it's not as blatant as it should have been, and I just hate the storyline. Debbie and Carl's storylines are just, I can't talk about it. We're not talking about the Tommy and Kermit thing. We're not talking about it. We're not talking about it. I can't process that right now. Liam wasn't even in the pilot. It wasn't even in this episode.
I know, I was like, where is he? And I think he shows up, at the very end when they all go to, like, Lip and Tammy's. That's, like, the only time we see him.
Yeah. And let's talk about the Ian and Mickey storyline. So, first of all, Morning Mr. Gallagher, Morning Mr. Milkovich, priceless, amazing, beautiful, groundbreaking, I love it. Mickey getting a little two-handed smooch in the morning, I love it. He's gotten laid so many times that his asshole is broken, and I'm happy for him.
Husband banter in the morning, we love it.
It's great, and they're very cute. I understand where Ian is coming from, and I believe he had a reasonable and measured reaction to everything that was happening.
Yeah. Mickey was more of a dick than he has been in a while in this episode, and that kind of made me mad.
However, I heard not only was the scene that they were using promo pictures of cut, But apparently there was also a scene after that conversation with Ian where Mickey goes to try to find a job and can't find one. That was cut.
Why do they cut out the things that leave us, like, they'll have a scene they leave in, which leaves us with questions and, like, confusion, and then you find out that the scenes that would answer those were cut out of the episode.
To make room for some other bullshit. And, like, everybody was saying Mickey was acting out of character. He isn't. His character has been ever evolving. This is happy married Mickey. Mickey has never been financially stable and just always spent the money that he had because he had it. Yeah. Mickey has never been happy and safe and trusting in a relationship. This is new to him. He is evolving. And the monogamy thing, here is my interpretation of it. I wrote a fic about it immediately afterwards.
Good.
I couldn't take it. I feel like the monogamy thing came out of nowhere. Mickey looked genuinely surprised that was the conversation they were having. And I think that he was afraid. My interpretation is that Mickey is afraid of saying that they're monogamous because the last time he thought they were monogamous, Ian, in his mania, cheated on Mickey like 17 times.
Yeah.
And it broke his heart. So I'm thinking maybe he doesn't want to say they're monogamous because he's afraid of getting hurt again.
I agree. Because when I was watching that scene, I was trying to interpret it the best that I can because of how, like, tense Mickey was throughout the whole thing. And, like, I wholeheartedly agree that, like, he obviously doesn't want to be with anyone else but Mickey, but then he still has that whole facade, like, of course, like, he's, like, big and bad and bougie, even though they are married. Because, like, even when they were dating, it was an open relationship and not so many words, I want to assume. Or say. But I don't think he was out of character, but I did notice he was a bit more aggressive within some of the conversations than he has been in, like, compared to, like, the last season. But, of course, I think they're probably just playing it as in, that you're married now you fight, and you guys don't communicate, and etc. I'm disappointed with how they ended that scene because it left Ian very confused and it left us confused, and it just kind of like it frustrates me because we've been dancing around Ian and Mickey for so long, and we finally get them in a stable position with each other, and for Shameless to give us all of their running around each other kind of stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was not. First of all, I did love the scene at the end where Mickey, like, joined all the Gallaghers and they went and, like, worked in Lip's house. I loved that. I love seeing Mickey with a family. And
I know. I'm so happy. He has somewhere to be.
And people were, like, mad about the money thing, but, like, first of all, he could have just spent the money. He left IOUs. He left notes about every dollar that he spent. So, like, I believe he fully intended to put that money back.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that they did the I spelled monogamy wrong thing because they want to be like, Mickey can't write or read.
I spelled monogamy wrong.
Like, maybe Mickey is dyslexic. I don't know. Kev is, and we didn't find that out until later in seasons.
My favorite part of that scene is, like, after they're, like, Vicky doesn't show him, Carl shows up, and he's like, hell yeah, no more parking tickets for me, and then Ian's like, you don't have a car, dumbass. That's... You don't have a car, dumbass. And Mickey just looks at him.
So my thoughts are, and I'm in, like, Shameless Facebook groups, and I'm on Shameless TikTok now, and I'm on Shameless Stan Twitter. There's, like, speculation going around right now that Mickey is gonna have an affair and have a new boyfriend just because there's a new actor in one of the scenes with Noel who happens to be a gay actor. So everybody's like, Mickey's gonna cheat on Ian. Like, what the fuck? What is that? And, but I'm excited for the Gallagher versus Milkovich storyline because,
Me too.
Because more things for Mickey to do.
More Sandy. I'm so excited.
I do not trust that the writers are going to do what I want them to do with Terry, which is kill him.
Oh, yeah.
No. I believe they might pull what they pulled with Tommy and Kermit and have him all of a sudden be like, all the biggest homophobes are gay. And that, even though he's a literal white supremacist.
When me and my friend were watching the show right after, like, the Kermit and Tommy thing, I was like, damn, this season really is for the queers. You got Mickey and Ian, you got Sandy and Debbie, and then now you got Tommy and Kermit, And I was like, damn, they really said this season's for the queer.
Liam is a question mark in there too. That was brought up in season 9. Liam's a big old question mark there.
Because that cute conversation with Fiona, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Liam.
I agree with some of the fans that are saying, like, it would be cool if Emmy came back for, like, a little cameo. That would be cool. I don't believe it's necessary, and I'm glad Emmy got out when she did.
Yeah, like, I think more so the fans just want it for closure for themselves, but I think her showing up would really teeter-totter everything they've done since she's gone. And, like, as you said, like, I'm so glad Emmy got her out, but I think for the better and for the storyline's sake, she shouldn't come back, because if you just drop her in the middle, like, it's just gonna throw the characters off for probably the rest of the season, and us off for the rest of the season if she has one pop-up. At the very end or the very last episode, maybe. But don't bring her in, like, mid-season or to, like, have a phone call kind of thing, because I feel like the ominous of her being gone and no contact, I think, adds so much more than if she does come back.
Yeah, I agree with that. And people are like, they want other guest stars to come back. Thankfully, I haven't seen anybody out of their fucking minds enough to say Sammy, because I hope that she's dead. But some people are like, oh, I hope Sheila comes back. And I'm like, listen, I love me some Sheila. Sheila got the fuck out of there. Sheila got the fuck out of there. She don't need to come back. I'm excited for Gallagher Milkovich security.
Mm-hmm.
And that storyline. I'm excited for that.
Are we expected a full season, or like, is it gonna be cut a little bit?
Well, as of right now, I think they're filming episode 7 or 8, whatever one. Shanola just as of right now, it is Wednesday, December 9th.
Shanola she directed the episode.
She directed an episode, and did you see who that was in the photo of her directing an episode? That was Noel Fisher's wife, Layla Azita, playing one of the cops.
Queen! I love her. My favorite thing is that I've, like, looked at her IMDb before, and she's all little people and, like, things like, the one thing I recognized her from is that Muppet TV show that was out, like, a couple years ago. She was, like, Miss Piggy's, like, makeup stylist.
She was in this short-lived Hulu TV show with the guy from Burn Notice, too. I really liked that show. Her character was, like, she was, like, a mob wife. She was really cool. But it only makes sense if your cast is quarantining anyway for your show. Yeah, their spouses are quarantining with them. Get them guest roles.
That's so cute. I love that. I didn't even see her in the background. Is she in, like, a cop uniform?
Yeah, she's got a mask on, so, like, it's only if you know, like, her hair and the way that
she got big old hair.
Yeah, but yeah, in the photo that Shanola posted, it's like Jeremy Allen White and another guy playing another cop. He sort of looks like one of the guys from the show House. It might be him, I don't know, just from the side of his face. And then Layla is standing there with a badge on.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is! Oh, she looks so cute.
I'm so proud of Shanola directing an episode. You get it, girl. Good for you.
Whose house is that? I can't tell.
Doesn't it look like a motel or something?
Yeah, it kind of does, but at the same time, it looks too much like a house. Like,
maybe that's Liv's living room after renovation or something.
Oh, true, because there's, like, a sheet on the couch. I'm so proud of her. I don't believe she's directed an episode for Shameless before.
No, correct? This is her first one. I think this might be her first television direction ever.
Good for her, goddamn.
Yeah. But yeah, Noel's wife Layla is in that, and, like, if the cop just walks past Mickey for a hot second, and we get a nod or something, it would be just...
I feel like they have to. There's just some small remark of acknowledging each other. Like, not like a conversation at all, but I would love that.
There was a scene in the show Castle Rock that Noel and the girl who originally played Mandy they were both in the show, and there was one scene where he, like, walks past her in a bar, and I go like, ah! But yeah, I'm excited for Galovich security, and the cute little camo kitchen kiss we're gonna get that we saw for like a hot second. I have enough faith in that John Wells knows that if he fucks them up, he will never be forgiven by television. So and I have enough faith that Noel and Cam wouldn't agree to do an ending that wasn't Ian and Mickey happy together. So I have faith in that. And I am interested in Lip's storyline and not... Oh, Tammy, by the way, Lip needs to have a conversation with her. I'm loving all the hustling he's doing to save money, but, like, have a conversation with your woman. She's a middle-class girl, and you're a lower middle-class, and you're a lower-class guy. You need to have a conversation that she can't be having Starbucks every fucking day of the week. Like...
Yeah. Like, she comes from money, but is her money feeding, like, is her family feeding them money? Like, they're obviously struggling in some way. And, like, the fact that she's like, but they're so good. And I'm like, okay, what? Yeah. And what about it?
And, like, the kicker would have been if she drank that coffee that Lip procured, and he didn't tell her that it was a used cup. But he's like, oh, you think that's delicious? It's from the bodega across the street. It cost $1 fucking. The paint was, like, a good scheme that they pulled.
No, I thought the paint thing was real smart.
And, like, I don't know, something about Lip is just, I feel like he is carrying the energy of the original show with him, and he is the only one holding it with him, with... Like, just the scene in the paint store where he was talking with the guy from the paint store. No, he knows people in town still. He still, like, is connected to others. He's like, I thought you worked at that other place. And, like, he seems, he's still so rooted in the South Side and in the original Gallagher hustle and, like, holding a family together. I feel like he's become the heart of the show. I love Ian and Mickey, but I feel like Lip has for sure become the heart of the show.
Every time Baby Freddy showed up on screen, I screamed. That is the cutest baby in the entire goddamn world. And the way I could tell is that baby is probably a real fussy baby, because every clip you saw that baby, it was dead asleep, or he was just, like, in a little carrier. Besides, like, the couple times you saw the baby awake, but, like, every other scene he was asleep. So that makes me assume that baby actor is a screamer.
Wouldn't it be cool if it was just Jeremy Allen White's baby?
Please.
Like, I'm sure there are, like, 6 or 7 babies they have for multiple scenes. Can one of them just be his baby?
I think his baby's, like, what, like, 2 now? Like, 1 or... I think his baby's already kind of old, and I was like, how long has he been a dad already?
The beginning of season 10, he became a dad. So yeah, pretty much, I guess his kid is 2.
I think they had a girl, right?
I don't know.
I don't even know who the baby mama is. I don't think I know her.
Yeah.
I think she's an actor, but I don't think I know her from anything.
But anyway, so let's round out the mini-sode. Those were our thoughts and opinions on episode 1. We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on episode 1 of season 11.
They fed us pretty well with this episode, but we had some critiques, obviously.
I hated it, but that has nothing to do with Ian and Mickey. I hated it for many other reasons. I can't be bothered with Kev ever. I just can't. I can't care. But yeah, let's round out the mini-sode. We're gonna try to be consistent with these, but fucking life happens, so we'll post these. But that's the mini-sode, everybody, and make sure to tune in on Tuesday for our maxi-sode. No, that's just stealing from My Favorite Murder. For our regular episode, which we're going to record in just a moment. So in mere moments from us, but probably a day or 2 away from you, we're gonna... And in that one, episode 2 will have already happened. We're gonna try to record after episode 2 happens with maybe a special guest. So we're figuring it out as we go.
Yeah, we're working as we go.
I don't know if anybody has noticed, but our audio quality has gone up just a little bit. And see, we're learning and growing.
We're learning.
But we'll see everybody at the big episode. Until then, peace out.